Just invite me.
All right. Will do. I'm on and we are live. So I wonder, I gotta look and see here. Rob, because we're not actually in the Fortnite party, do you try talking for a minute? Let me see if I can hear you.
I don't think it's going to work.
Actually, it's picking it up because it's coming through my Elgato. I can see it on the sound settings.
Well, do we want to switch over to the normal just in case other people join us potentially and it doesn't work properly?
Yeah, we could do that. Actually, Knocked Please Revive is here. He says he can hear us over the stream and hears Zimmer. So, but yeah, we can jump out of this thing. So let me, I'm going to close the party and then we'll jump in. But while I'm doing all that, just to touch base here so everybody knows, we are going to continue our discussion that we had earlier today with, I know Joe was on with us earlier, so Knock Please Revive was on with us, and we were talking about our Major League Baseball and the playoff predictions and whatnot, and what we thought was going to be, you know, as far as like our who's going to win each division, who's going to win the wild cards for both the AL and NL divisions, or leagues, I should say. So while that's going on, and I know Rob was just joining here. Rob, we're back on the Fortnite chat now. Do you want to try talking? Let me see if I can hear you.
Yeah,
yep,
I'm here.
You're good. You're good. You're good. All right, let me bring this up. I'll touch base on this because Knocked Please Revive, who was in here with us, he and I went through our whole thing, and I'm just going to lay this out for you. I know Cam will, Zimmas will be on in a little bit as well, but so our basis, I told him that we had looked at the USA Today. They had a group of like 6 people who came together and said who they thought were going to win each division and their records. So starting in the National League, they had the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Braves as the division winners. They had the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, and the Reds as the top 3 division winning teams as far as record goes. So that's your NL playoff picture. So they would have had the Dodgers and the Braves as your 1 and 2 seed, the Cubs as the 3, and then based on records, it would have been Philadelphia, Arizona, Cincinnati, 4, 5, 6. They had in the American League in the West, they had the Astros as a 2 seed, the Baltimore Orioles as a 1 seed, and the Twins as the 3 seed. And then they had the Yankees as a 4, Mariners as the 5, and the Texas Rangers as a 6 seed. So there's they go, and you know we talked about it. They used a whole lot of the records and stuff, and I'm not about to try to predict somebody's record in baseball. It's too damn hard. I ain't doing it, right? Like it's not like football. But so before we get into y'all's thoughts and whatnot, I'll remind you also of what Knock Please Revive used. His picks were for the National League. He said Dodgers, Reds, and Braves, and then Phillies, Diamondbacks, and Cubs as his wild cards teams. For the AL, he had Astros, Guardians, and Yankees, and the Orioles, Rays, and Rangers as his wild card teams. So, any thought on USA Today or Joe's picks before we start?
I'm not too different from Joe's picks. Like I think when this show that we talked about, I heard about earlier, the NL Central and the AL Central, I think are completely wide open. I don't think there's a clear-cut favorite in any division in that one, so I agree with that. I think the West, the NL West, I should say, is wide open. Well, not wide. No, I shouldn't say wide open. Sorry. I don't think those teams have done enough to compete with the Dodgers. But if there's one thing that we've learned in baseball is that the highest salaried team isn't always the team that wins everything, even though they look the best on paper, and it's not even close.
Yep.
So I'm not disagreeing with the Dodgers. I think that's be everybody's pick at this stage, but I'm also not willing to crown them World Series champions just because it's baseball and crazier things happen. And they should have won that division last year, but I believe the Diamondbacks ended up competing for that quite heavily last year, and so did the Giants. So, did any of those teams make themselves better? That's debatable.
All right.
But yeah, we'll get into it.
Sounds good. Well, I'm ready to also play some Fortnite, so I'm going to ready up and we're going to flip over and we'll continue this discussion as we load into our first game. So do you want to start in the National League being a Reds fan, or do you want to start in the American League?
I would start whatever you want. Like I said, I'm just as for everybody's thing, I am coming to this with zero research. I live in Australia now. I still follow baseball quite heavily, but I don't dig into it until pretty much once the season starts coming around, and once the rosters sort of start getting set a little bit. Because I'm from a small market team, I'm a fan of a small market team, and I never know what my team's going to be until pretty much right when the start of the season happens. So that's kind of when my anticipation starts going when it comes to baseball.
Gotcha. All right, well, I'm going to throw you a bone then. We're going to go, we'll start in the National League since you're more familiar with that, being a small market National League team fan. You kind of touched on it. Start out west. Is it going to be the Dodgers, or has somebody else, you think somebody else can do it? Now, the thing is, and you had started to say this, and I agree with this because I'm an American League fan. How many times did you see the Yankees be the best team on paper for years of our life, and they're just absolutely terrible for as far as winning a World Series? So we'll start there.
Like I said, if you had to ask me, it would definitely be the Dodgers. They would be. I think you'd be silly to go against that team, even if Shohei isn't pitching this year. I think the lineup, just 1 through 9, is just silly. I think
absolutely insane.
I think the signing of that Japanese pitcher, I can't remember his name. Is it
Yamamoto or something like that? Yeah.
It's been signed. I think he's a very underrated signing from what I've seen of him, and apparently from the little bit I've seen already, he's impressive in camp.
He looked good in the World Baseball Classic last year? Yeah, last spring. So I mean, he looks like he's going to be good. Yeah. Actually, Knock Please Revive is just in the chat right now, and he even confirmed the same thing. He was insane in the WBC.
Yeah.
Saying the same thing we've been saying.
I don't think that's getting enough attention for that signing. The Diamondbacks, look, I'm going to be honest, I'm not too 100% sure on who they've even brought in this year. I'm not sure if they've signed anybody noteworthy as a free agent. And I saw that my buddy here is actually a Giants fan, but when I see that they're bringing Pedro Sandoval in for a back for this spring training, doesn't give me high hopes for the Giants this year either. If that's who they're looking at to potentially bring back.
You mean Pablo Sandoval?
Oh yeah, sorry, Pablo. There you go, Pedro. But yeah, they're bringing back Sandoval. That's a bit of an issue. So yeah, I would say it would be the Dodgers, the Diamondbacks. Sorry, I got a guy on this. Diamondbacks, the Giants. Those would be my contenders in the West. But like I said, I don't think anybody's going to beat the Dodgers, even though I'd like that to happen.
Somebody did just chime in and say, F you, Jobu. I won't tell you who it was, but I'll let you guess because he's a fellow Reds fan, and it's not your son.
The other one in the other Reds fan.
I don't know that he would do this, but he sounds like the kind of guy that would be here just to stir shit up.
I can't imagine that either.
Also, Joe was in here and he says, I think he was referring to the Diamondbacks, but he's bringing up Pedro Sandoval. All right. Well, so I'll tell you, I know I picked the Dodgers as well. So I mean, I'm not surprising anybody on that.
No.
I think most people would. So now, just because it is touching base for you, I'm not gonna give you the easy way out. Let's skip the NL Central and let's look at the NL East, because I think this is going to be pretty common for most people as well. What do you have in the NL East?
I've got the Phillies at number 1.
Really?
I think I still got the Phillies there. I think with Bryce Harper being healthy and making his move to first base full time, I still like the Phillies.
Over the Braves, okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, look.
Now you see why I was a little surprised.
Yeah, but I also don't think it's too crazy. It's not. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't want to be different. I've thought about trying to be different, but no, I can't justify it too much. It's going to sound stupid, and I'm going to be seen as fake, so I'm not going to do it that way. I'm not going to be a shock jock. Look, let's be honest. The Braves have the best rotation in the league. They have probably the best pitcher in the league. I'm a big Ronald Acuna fan. He played down here in Melbourne. Met him a few times, and he's, obviously turned into a superstar for the Braves.
Is he good? I'm not sure. I've not heard anything.
Yeah. It's the Braves are smart business people. The Braves have done things right. They've made really smart trades. They've signed all their young talent to really good deals. And I'm a big Spencer Strider fan. I really, really like the Braves. And that's not saying I don't like the Phillies either. I do. I still think they're a force to be reckoned with, and I think they're a very veteran team. And like I said, injuries can happen, but as long as the Braves sort of have that rotation of theirs and that lineup they have, they're very hard to beat, no matter what kind of not excuses or what you try to make it sound like it could be a different result.
I know Joe and I both said the Braves, so I mean, you're not having to convince anyone on that. I think the Braves, I mean, I think they have a better shot at the World Series win than the Dodgers do, because I've been influenced all my life by watching the Yankees try to buy World Series, and they didn't really do it all the way. I do know that at least one person in our chat who is a lifelong Dusty Baker fan, he's telling me that the Nationals are going to win the East. He was a big fan of of Dusty Baker and the Nationals when Dusty was your manager. So yeah, he's all in on that. So, and of course he's getting, I would like to know, he's getting Joe riled up too. So Joe's starting to agree with him.
I would like to know if the person in the chat is happy that the Nationals aren't Al Leonard is not selling his team.
That's a really good question. You'd think he would just hop, skip, and jump his butt over there and watch him play. Where the hell is this Leonardo at? Come on.
I've got footsteps on me, by the way.
That sucks. Steps. That sucks for you. That really sucks for you.
Yep, I jumped up in the hay.
Yeah, I see that.
That's my fault. So yeah, I don't think the Nationals are good enough at all. I don't think they have anybody of even noteworthy.
They got Steven Strasburg.
Oh, yeah, and that big contract.
They're forcing him to come to camp even though he's tried to retire.
We've got one of their best players from last year on the Reds, which I still don't understand that signing, but that's for a different day. But yeah, I don't hold much stock in the Nationals. I actually quite like the Marlins too. So I actually think the NL East is a very competitive division, more so than say the National League West.
Man, I was
just
trying to
think the
get your
teams in
damn
the, I
card
think,
back, and those bastards camped me.
yeah. I actually think the NL East is more competitive with better teams top to bottom than the NL West.
Joe
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
it's so odd watching BGSM and being this far in without someone being knocked out. Literally, as you were getting fucking camped and cooked. So
yeah, that's not saying I think that certain teams are not better in the NL West compared to the NL East. I just think that from top to bottom, the NL East is a stronger division and more competitive than I think the NL West. And that's just because I don't rate the Dodgers at all. And I don't really know where the Padres are going to be this year.
Stupid bot, you're going to give away my position. I'm trying to get over and fucking revive.
You can do it, Houdini.
I wanted that damn pizza. I can't even read the chat. Said, I agree, Joe saying, I agree the Padres are better, will be better than last year. They have less superstars, but a better overall team, especially if they add an outfielder. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I think the Padres are a good team. I don't think that they're going to be enough to pull out.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of unknowns with the Padres, which is sort of where I'm at with them. They lost their closer. They've lost Soto. The ballpark's always sort of played to a certain skill set, and it'll be interesting to see. And those players that they've brought in, even over the last few years, haven't really adapted to that or been the right fit for that. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they go, but I'm not 100% sold they're going to be a better team in that regard. I just don't think they're starting. I just don't think their pitching is strong enough for that. But then for that ballpark, it might be okay.
So
Still my favorite ballpark.
Joe's laughing at him because he says they only have 2 outfielders on their roster. And Renegade is here saying, I think the Padres being brave enough to move Bogarts to second shows they realize that their problems are and they're open to fixing them.
Unlike, well, I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, no, I agree in that regards.
All right, I got a Fizz in here when you inside the building when you want to come in here. Renegade says they won't compete with the Dodgers, but I could see a wild card.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now what do we want to do? Since clearly don't want to go back to Hazy.
That wasn't a good idea by me to jump in there, but I didn't think anybody was actually there. But I think they were just camping.
So Joe says Kim is the best. I'm going to try to translate this because Joe is the world's greatest typer. I believe the word
As well as
E-best
the greatest Fortnite
is
player.
supposed to just be best. Kim is the best defensive shortstop in the game, too. And then Renegade had to correct him and remind him that's outside of Kyle Farmer.
And then they have, what's the other former Red they picked up last year? I don't know if he's still there, though.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. I know who I'm thinking of, but
So
Brandon will know.
So my chat has a moderator on it. Joe says he laughed and then said reigning defender best Fortnite player Rob, all in caps. My chat moderation had to tell him, please do not send so many capital letters. Somebody's already got this forecast.
Don't yell, Joe. It's rude.
Brandon asked, didn't they sign Drury?
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Let's head over towards the railway. If I'm going to compete in this game at all, I've got to put a different scope on my sniper. All right, well, let me ask you this. Do you have anything else on the NL West, or do you want to move over to the NL Central here where you can talk about your homeboys?
No, I think I'm pretty good with the East. Like I said, I still maintain. I respect everybody else's opinions because they're probably a bit more informed than mine when it comes to the West. But...
So, Renegade, if you don't know this, Rob, Renegade was promoted to a moderator in my stream.
Oh, nice.
Because he's here so much, and I appreciate the follows and the work he does and everything. So he can see when things are done, like automatic, what's it called? There's guns down here in the vault still, by the way. So like all the automated stuff. Joe had 3 messages deleted and was banned for 30 seconds because he was spamming with capital letters.
Poor Joe.
He even gets knocked in the chat.
That takes real talent right there. That is awesome.
Joe comes back and says Twitch can't handle the truth.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's too funny. I've never seen that happen.
Well, leave it to Joe to figure it out, huh?
Right? What is this exclamation point on my screen? Well, that wasn't anything good. Okay, so then let's go ahead and let's talk about it. What do you have under your NL Central? Who is going to take this dartboard of a show?
I'm going to correct something about what Joe said earlier this morning about me not being as high on the Reds. That's not what I said yesterday. What I actually said yesterday was that we were talking. I think it was. I don't know if it was. I don't know if we were talking yesterday. It was the day before about it. But we were talking about when it comes to projections and players and stuff like that. I think it was offline or something. And what I was saying is that the Reds themselves are not predicted to win as many games by the advanced metrics this year as that they did last year, but that they are actually team this year, even though their record is projected to be better. And they were basing that off the fact that the Reds are expecting a lot of the players from last year to regress this year and have a bit of those sophomore slumps. But my issue with that is that that's not also taking into account players that could possibly
down here, Rob. Just jumped in the water, coming across the water. Damn it! I missed my snipe. He's over by that tree and that bush and shit right over there.
See if I can get over here and get around them. Can you mark it? I can't see it.
Nice.
Knocked him. But what that also doesn't take
Oh
into
shit!
account
Somebody's
is...
coming over this hill. Be careful, because there was somebody coming over that hill. And then they came down.
Got it. There's the whole team.
Somebody's here.
Yep.
One of them's lit up. The one that's over here karate chopping was lit up. Oh, shit. You got him, but...
Yeah, Montague got me.
That's all right. We're like half-ass paying attention, half talking, so I'm good with it.
Yeah. So what that doesn't take into account, in my opinion, is it doesn't project people well enough to know if they're going to end up being superstars. Like, well and good, Ellie Deli Cruz might not be as good as last year. That he might take a little bit of a jump, but based on his talent, he might take a huge jump this year, which then doesn't base that sort of stuff on it. And I also don't think it's fair to the Reds' projections to base anything off their starting rotation last year, because as Renegade said, they were starting guys from AA, Single A, and Cape Cod the whole year in their rotation. So the guys like Hunter Green and Nick Doe and Ashcraft, who got burned out by the end of the year, he was the only pitcher that was available. It's not, I don't think you can project those pitchers on how big of a jump they will. Hunter Green was an amazing. Well, people don't seem to. I don't think people realize, if unless you're a fan, is just how good Hunter Green was last year, and especially Nick Lodolo when they actually pitched last year. Losing Lodolo was a major blow to the Reds last year. It really, really hurt their rotation, and when you have two of those guys not pitching for you, it's very tough. And for them to stay in it all the way until September was unexpected. No, I don't think there was any Reds fan last year that really thought they were going to be competitive like they were last year. I sure did.
No, I think you're right. There's no way a sane fan of the Reds went into last season thinking that they were legitimate division champ contenders. I mean, I think you could have thought they would be good and they'd make steps and they had great players coming down the pipe, but no, they definitely went above and beyond. Renegade just pointed out something good here too. People forgot how good Ashcraft was outside of his really bad stretch.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. He ran out of gas.
Yep.
Those guys haven't pitched the amount of innings that a lot of other players have pitched in the majors. So when it came down to that, that back end, Ashcraft was tired, and that's okay because he was literally trying to carry a whole nation on his back, and that's hard for any young player to do, let alone someone who's not used to throwing the amount of innings that they were required to throw last year. Because their bullpen didn't do anything. You
may not have this information in front of you, and Renegade, you may have it a little more accessible since you're not online and you're just looking, but all told, how many rookies and first-year guys did the Reds put in their lineup last year? Do you have any idea roughly what that number was?
I reckon it would have been between 20 and 30. Based on just the guys that kept calling up from the minors all year. And that's not saying they were top prospects. I think there was a guy that pitched in Australia here during the offseason. He was a starting pitcher for us last year. And he was 32 years old in his major league debut. So, yeah, there may have been a lot, but it doesn't mean they were top prospects though. But they were literally just using anyone just to fill bodies at one point for that rotation.
Well, so Renegade went and looked. He pulled the official stats up from MLB.com, I think this is, and his official answer is a billion. Because, I mean, it sure as hell felt like it for y'all, right? Like, I mean, I'm not denying that one bit.
It was a lot.
But, I mean, because Matty McLean was even a rookie last year, right?
And no one saw that coming. He had struggled in the minors a little bit. He wasn't destroying minor league pitching by any means until last in spring. And I believe he went to AAA, and then it was like, holy crap, Matty McLean a big jump. That was to a lot of those players last year.
Yeah.
Spencer Steele was just a afterthought for the Reds when they traded for him. I like what it looked like. A lot people weren't like overly excited about Spencer Steer. And Ellie Cruz, I think, no one had even heard of him really until last year, unless you were a Reds fan. Even then, his hype wasn't overly huge until the season started, and it was like, hey, this kid down here is really, really good, and then he got brought up. You could maybe say it was a bit too early, but I don't think that was the case. I think it was just a matter of him adjusting to his pitching. So, now, in saying that,
Joe just came in. He said he was back on your chat typing in all caps, and he didn't get banned.
No, that's because it's a free country on my chat.
Well, I'm telling you, it's because of the moderation things I have on my chat to keep that kind of stuff from happening. Oh, come on. That's a legendary item. What are you doing? No, go ahead, Rob.
What you said about the Cubs.
Yeah.
I have a hard time seeing the Cubs going to a better team this year.
Okay.
Unless they add Bellinger back or some type of... I think they just... I agree that Craig Counsell can make a difference, but I still believe that managers do make a difference in the game. So I do agree that Craig Counsell could be a huge get for the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
The Brewers, on the same. I think they've lost way much talent to be. Well, I'm shouldn't even say serious compares because the NL Central is wide open. I think the main competition for the Reds in that division is going to be the Cardinals. I don't see the Pirates doing much. I don't know how long their rebuild's been going, but it's been 20 years, and until they show me something different, I'm never going to take the Pirates seriously. And that's just the way it is for me.
Yeah. No, I get that.
The Cardinals, I think we talked about it yesterday. They're like the Steelers of the NFL.
Oh, yeah. Well, and
when you never think they're good enough, but
I don't remember if it was Joe or Renegade that said this in our chat earlier, but the problem with me taking the Cardinals is they brought back the same manager that was a problem last year. And I mean, he basically, by all accounts, tore that team apart and caused everyone to be separated. So, I mean, it's just hard for me to buy the Cardinals. Now, I don't know that the Brewers are going to be great. I did pick them as one of my wild card teams, as I said on the earlier show. But I just, it's funny to say. I don't know. I know they lost their manager, but the Brewers have a team that has experience with being out in front of that division, and I see them being able to wrangle that into not necessarily a division title, but I can see them being competition. There's people coming.
I'm down. He's got a shield on too. God dang it.
That was not good. Let me see. So, catching up on chat, Joe said, any team with a player named Masterboni has a shot. And Renegade says, I can't find rookie numbers, but the Reds used 40 pitchers last year, including 17 starters, and used 65 total players. So, yeah, it makes sense.
It was insane. It was insane.
So, I mean, it's no surprise. Anybody that watched the earlier stream knows I picked the Reds to win the division. Is that your pick to win the division this year? Is it Cincinnati? And as a fan of the Reds, you're allowed to say yes if that's what you truly believe. I mean, that's the discussion. I'll tell you right now, I picked the Astros. I took the homer pick, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but that's the Astros. Yeah, like they have been 10 years now. Been discounted trash.
Discount it all you want. I got 2 rings and 2 banners flying at Minute Maid Park. So, what's up, bitches? I'm gonna take the Carlos Correa thing. Damn right, we use the trash cans, and you know what? We got a pair of rings to celebrate. So bring it.
Look, I think the Reds to win the division. I'm still not 100% sold on the makeup of the team. I think they have issues in the outfield still. I'm concerned that players like Will Benson and TJ Friedel will regress this year, and I don't know. It's not the strongest outfield. I would prefer that Ellie De Cruz be played center field, maybe, or right field.
So let me ask you this. Where in the outfield can Encarnacion Stands play? I know I can't say his damn name right now because I'm trying to ask.
There'd only be left field. There'd be nowhere else.
Okay, so then let's get him to left field so we can get Joey Votto back to play first.
Well, that's what they have Candelario for.
No, we need Joey Votto.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The Reds. This is what I'm saying. As a Reds fan, I still talent-wise that can win the NL Central, and as the biased fan in me, I feel they're going to win it. But I still have concerns with the makeup of the team and positions and where people fit in, because I don't think they addressed that properly this season. Now, that changed spring training, yes, but and they don't have a left-handed bat that's really a threat either. In their lineup, I think they've only got maybe one, and Benson can't hit left-handers, so I'm still concerned with their makeup of their team, basically. What I'm trying to say.
Okay, fair enough.
With their young position players, I'm not in love with their outfield.
Okay, so
I've got the Reds, probably the Cards, and then the Cubs, and then the Pirates.
So who do you have as the wild card teams out of the National League then?
I think the Phillies, the Cards, and the Diamondbacks.
I'm going to clinger someone here just because I feel like doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just cleaning up some bots that were here.
It's funny because last year, I don't think many teams are going to change this year, I guess, from maybe last year. It's been a very strange offseason with all these free agents still available, too, which can change things.
Well, yeah, that's something that we talked about was you have the defending Cy Young winner is still available. You have a guy that's been a really good hitter since he came up still available in Cody Bellinger.
Would you pay that? I know this is off topic, and that's sort of what I do and I think people will kind of realize I just kind of roam at times. But would you pay Bellinger the amount of money for your team that he's asking for?
No, because I don't need him.
No, I'm saying, but if he did, and he was asking for $225 million or whatever it is.
Absolutely not.
Would you be comfortable?
No,
yeah,
no.
No.
I don't think he's that good. Look, I'm not saying he's a bad player. Don't get me wrong, but he's not that good. I mean, that's just my personal opinion, but I'm not buying that at that rate. I mean, shit.
Well, it's coming down here for me to be winning in baseball to invest that sort of money on in someone when it's guaranteed in baseball.
But it's all guaranteed. And then the thing, like, and again, I'm looking at this through Astro eyes, right? So it's a little bit difficult, but, you know, we've got money tied up on, obviously, Jose Altuve. And I know the Mets are paying most of Verlander's contract, which is a big help. But we've got Bregman coming back up for a contract. We've got Tucker coming up for a contract. You're going to have to pay Fromber. You're going to have to pay Christian Javier. And Javier's obviously not going to command what some of these guys are going to get, but you know, you're going to have to pay these guys as well. There's real teams here.
Well,
The Tony the Tiger guy lit up.
there's a guy over here to the left too. Oh, there's a guy in front of me. That's what trying to knock the Tiger guy.
The other one's right down here somewhere.
He's gonna try to re-heal him now.
He set up a turret.
That's me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's knocked me. He's been hit by the turret a few times. He's getting hit by the turret. He's in here. It's down. Good job.
Give me this gun. Thank you.
Yeah, those are all mine and now the stupid enforcer.
You want to invite Cam? He just sent an invite to the party.
Is he on with you?
I just saw it pop up on my screen. I don't know what all he's got going on there.
You sure that's not season?
I thought it was Cam.
Got him offline. I want to check it because I don't see him on.
No, I have no idea. I looked, I didn't see anything. I got a grapple over here for you, Rob, if you want it.
Okay.
You still need shield to eat the rest of that pizza, because whatever you don't, I'm going to take unless you are good. And then there's another...
There's one. Do you have any ammo? Thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's, like I said, if you were asking me about the NL in general, I'm going to take the Dodgers as the NL Central representative. With the Braves, obviously the close second. I think those two teams are the best teams on paper. Probably baseball.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking here. So my wild card teams were the Phillies, Diamondbacks, Brewers in the National League. Joe's were Phillies, Diamondbacks, Cubs. So, all right.
And I've gone Cards.
There's bots over here. You want to go get some free kills?
I'm on a bit different. The AL Central, I sort of agree with what I'm just going to tell you what I think on that.
That it's anybody's Central game and you can't really pick anything. Yep.
It's the same as what you guys said this morning, and I agree with Joe. I don't know the Central. I don't really know too much about the American League, so
Yeah.
it's not really something I've paid too much attention to. It's just not my my side of the world to worry about. So that, but I don't disagree with Joe on what he said earlier in saying that he wouldn't be surprised if the Tigers could pull it off. I agree with you. I think AJ Hinch is an amazing manager, unlike the Reds manager, which is part of the other reason why I'm not 100% with the Reds in their positions and their way they constructed the team. Because unlike Renegade, I am not a fan of David Bell.
I don't really think that anyone with anything resembling a bit of intelligence about baseball is a fan of David Bell. I mean, there's no way that you can watch him manage and think that he is as good as the Reds would want him to be.
Well, I gave him an extension, didn't I? Which is ironic because I think to Renegade last year, as much as I don't like David Bell, I have to give him credit for what he was able to do with that team last year. But I do think they succeeded in spite of him, which is hypocritical of me by saying that I believe managers still make a difference in baseball. So I realize I'm fence-sitting there.
Well,
but I do like AJ Hinch.
It's funny to me. Oh no, he's online. Was that Renegade? Are you trying to join our game? Let me see. Hold on. Let's see if we can get into a Facebook or a PlayStation chat. I must try to start a party. Rob. Rob. This is the fun of doing this, boys and girls, when you have guys that are... Rob?
I'm here now.
All right.
My apologies. I never actually got a invite.
Oh. Well... Invite Renegade to the chat too.
Okay.
Because I sent him one. Because he invited me. He's on Fortnite right now.
Just give me a second.
Or we can go back to that one since he's here. Just leave this one and we'll go to the party channel.
Yeah, no dramas.
Renegade.
There we go.
Can you hear us now? Oh, hold on. Hey, just a second. Rob, you need to join the party channel under your voice chat options on Fortnite.
Okay.
Hello? Oh, he left.
Hmm. Is that better?
Hey, I hear you. All right, so you need to
I
have.
don't know.
So hit
I
your
don't know if Renegades.
hit your start button. Go to the microphone, and they'll go over there where it says party channel. Join that one. Yep.
All right.
Hey, there he
Are
is.
we in there?
Renegade.
This is the first time we've ever played together, apparently. So.
Right.
Yeah. Crazy. I'm sure that was.
Well, I'm glad that you're here, though, Renegade, because you do a really good job of having as much useless baseball knowledge as I do on other things. So what do you have on the National League before we go any further? I know you have opinions, so let's hear them.
I think I've been letting my opinions known. I think definitely Braves, Dodgers, those two are like the no-brainers. The Central, I agree, it's kind of a toss-up. Kind of lean towards the Reds. You look at how they did last year with all of the injuries and the additions they made this year to the bullpen. I think is going to be the biggest thing. Yeah. As long as they stay healthy, I think the Reds will be good in the Central. Like I mentioned this morning, I think the Cardinals will be a lot better than people think. I think the Cardinals should have been a lot better last year.
On paper, they are very good. I'm not taking anything away from them there.
When you look at that team, there's no way the Cardinals should have stunk as bad as they did last year. And so I think adding Sonny Gray is going to be huge.
Go to Reckless Railways, Rob.
Not the biggest fan of how much they paid for Lance Lynn and stuff, but those will be solid guys for the back end of their back end of their rotation. So I think the Cardinals will be good. I'm not high on the Brewers at all. I don't think the Brewers are going to be good this year. I think the Pirates will be better than the Brewers. And I would not be surprised if the Pirates finish second or third in the Central.
Yeah, well, and that's one of the things I've been trying to make sure that I was able to convey is it is so, not my wheelhouse because I'm not a NL fan like I am in the American League. But because that team, I can't tell you one way or the other who's going to be what. So to say that, they're of who it's going to be, I don't know. I mean, it's a crapshoot. Do I think, and I've explained it, for me, it was the fact only that the Brewers have been decent in the past.
Every year for a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only reason I even see them being good this year when you have that kind of a crapshoot.
Yeah. And I mean, I think a lot of it too is just the NL Central, I think, has so many very good young players that it's a matter of which teams have their young players step up. You look at the Cardinals, you got Jordan Walker and Gorman. I think there's a few other guys that if those two can make a giant leap from last year, the Cardinals are going to be unstoppable with Goldschmidt and Arenado and stuff. You got the Pirates with Ke'Bryan Hayes and Henry Davis and O'Neal Cruz. If those guys could take a step forward, the Pirates.
I've got guys over here, Mike.
The Reds, obviously, with their entire team who takes that step forward of young guys, whether is Spencer Steer able to keep up what he started last year, Noelve Marte, David Cruz, McClain, Encarnacion Strand. Yeah, the Brewers, I mean, I'm just not big on them. And the Cubs are going to be good.
He was in there, Mike.
In where? In here?
To the right. To here. Yeah, he was over here to the right. He was sneaking around. I just don't know where he's gone.
He's right out.
Seen the one.
He's right outside here somewhere, because he's got a medallion, or he's got multiple medallions. He's outside. He's moved. No, I don't think it'll be. It's really hard to say this in a way and not completely sound like a jackass, because I'm not trying to be insulting with it. Well, like when I made the comment earlier that there will be bad baseball in Middle America this year between both leagues in the Central, but I think Joe and I both touched on it. The NL Central has a lot more to be excited about as just a baseball fan.
Yes.
You know, like there's a lot better talent. There's a lot better players. I don't know what to tell you, because I can't pick one or the other.
And I think a lot of that too is just the Reds and the Cubs and the Pirates were complete garbage there for so long that they've been able to build up their farm systems, and everything's coming to fruition now. They just blew up. Yeah.
And he just rocketed all the way up there.
But it's one of those things where there's so much young talent there that even if the NL Central is not spectacular this year, in the very near future, the NL Central is going to be probably the top division in baseball, at least for a short period of time, until all those young players start earning big contracts and no one in the Central wants to pay them.
Yeah. And they trade into the Yankees or the Dodgers. Or the Astros.
Joe just chimed in on chat and says, "How dare you disgrace Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson's name?"
I gave crap earlier in the chat, but I agree with Gade in the sense that look out for Tyler Stevenson. I don't believe that last year was his true form as a player. I think I do think that he has the potential to be the best catcher in the field. But it's just a matter of getting there, because he's been hurt for the last few years, and I think that shows up. Yeah, I don't think he was right last year. I don't know what was wrong, but there was something wrong with him. He didn't catch properly.
His timing was so off with everything, and it just stinks.
That's the last team, by the way, Rob.
Okay.
So they're healing up somewhere. We just got to find them. Oh, here they are. 105.
Where at?
Down here.
By the loop.
They just set up a thing.
I'm down. I slid down the thing. He's above you, Mike. The other guy's really low. He's right here.
Good job, fellas.
Good job.
But yeah, with Stevenson, it stinks because
get some W's in the chat here.
L's in the chat. It was like 2 years ago that he had like 4 or 5 just fluke injuries that kind of derailed him.
I don't mean to cut you guys off, but I need to make a phone call, unfortunately.
Of course he does.
Well, I got work stuff, so for anybody who doesn't know, it's 2:00 in the afternoon here on Thursday, so it's a bit different. Yeah, my work needs to talk to me, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to step out for a bit.
All right.
My apologies.
Well, do you...
your paycheck will be docked.
Yeah, it will very much so be docked. And I'm not even going to promote your Twitch page now for at least 30 minutes.
Sorry, my apologies. Like I said, I'll come back, but I don't know how long this is going to take, unfortunately.
No, all good, bro.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep, later.
Bye.
Later, Rob.
Also, Joe has said, talk to you later. I'm about as dead as I am when my 4 limbs hit the grass on this dumb game. So, actually, I mean, we could continue this, but I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. We'll just pick up with the conversation as far as like, making predictions for the American League from you guys. We can make those in the here in the next one of the future shows and get that from Rob and whatever. Obviously, we haven't picked World Series champs or anything, but you guys, I appreciate all the views. I appreciate everybody checking in. So I will see you all tomorrow at 2:30 Central. We go live again, and then this group will be on. Our next scheduled stream would be Friday night at 8 o'clock as well. So thanks for everything, you guys, and we will see you later.